Hey and welcome to the Daily Man United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Man United player Alex Telles eyed for a transfer back to former club as he's not in Ten Hag's plans. Manchester United left back Alex Telles is reportedly not in Eric Ten Hag's plan and could be targeted for a transfer back to his former club Porto. The Brazilian hasn't been entirely convincing during his time at Old Trafford, and it seems Ten Hag isn't too bothered about keeping him around, according to Portuguese outlet Correio de Manha. Man United also have Luke Shaw as an option on the left-hand side, and one imagines it's going to be a busy summer for the Red Devils under their new manager, so we could also see someone else come in. Telles looked a fine player during his time at Porto, so it perhaps makes sense for him to move back there in an attempt to revive his career. The 29-year-old has a good left foot and has had his moments when going forward for United, but his defensive play and work rate is not quite good enough for the top end of the Premier League. In Portugal, however, Telles could probably operate with more freedom and get back to a role more suited to his strength. Fulham are keen to sign Manchester United star Nemanja Matic in the summer transfer window. According to The Sun, recently promoted Championship winner Fulham want to sign Manchester United veteran Nemanja Matic in the upcoming summer transfer window. The Cottagers are keen on signing the Red Devils midfielder and would be more than willing to swoop for him when the summer window opens. Matic's contract runs down this summer and he has exercised his right to leave the club after 5 years at Old Trafford. The midfielder has played a key role for the club and is still capable of performing at the top level. The Cottagers' interest in him purely boils down to the fact that he can still perform at a high level. This coupled with his experience could play a huge role in Fulham's hopes of retaining their Premier League status. The Serb earlier took to social media to express his desire to leave the club this summer. The 33-year-old made his stance clear that he would not be part of Eric Ten Hag era next season. Fulham manager Marco Silva admitted that the doors would be open for the veteran to move to Craven Cottage. Securing Matic will certainly be a boost to Fulham's young squad. The average age of the Cottagers sits at around 25.7, which makes it all the more difficult for them to compete against the top sides in the Premier League. Here is where Matic could fit in with the squad and help the Cottagers raise their game. Matic has been a good servant to Man United, but has failed to experience the success expected of him when he was signed. With the veteran midfielder leaving the club this summer, the Red Devils will anyway have to look out to bolster their midfield. Anthony Martial heavily criticized in a Spanish newspaper as Sevilla loan spell ends. Sevilla played their final match of the season at the weekend, and Anthony Martial was not involved. After pulling out of their previous match with injury last week, the Manchester United loanee was left out of the squad for Sunday's game against Atletico Bilbao. Manager Julian Lopetegui said before the game via us, "Martial has a very interesting football level, but he has not been able to show it, basically because he has not had continuity due to injuries. Martial has suffered 3 injuries, scoring only 1 goal, and a blistering editorial in Spanish newspaper Estadio Deportivo over the weekend has piled on the criticism. Estadio Deportivo report Martial came to Sevilla with guaranteed playing time written into his contract, and report this upset supporters who were unconvinced by his performances, described as beyond disappointing. Not involved this past weekend, the newspaper remarked Martial will leave through the back door, adding, "It's clear that his name will not go down in the club's history, and it's better that he doesn't, because if he does, it will be with the banner of one of the biggest fiascos in the La Liga winter market." Sevilla spent £5 million on the loan, which may end up as a cheap deal, to find out he wasn't worth spending 6 times the price on in a permanent deal. Whether United can find a buyer this summer remains to be seen. He's on high wages, and this loan spell has not exactly been a good advert for him amid his struggles for fitness. This is the second week in a row the Spanish press have heavily criticized Anthony Martial, as labeled his loan spell a disaster last week. There may be some blame on United, having played Martial so infrequently in the first half of the season. He just could not hold up to regular demands at Sevilla, but to have the chance was what he wanted. Manchester United goalkeeper David de Gea reflects on a disappointing 21-22 season and questions dressing room. Speaking to MUTV after his side's 1-0 loss to Crystal Palace, Manchester United goalkeeper David de Gea reflected on a poor 21-22 season for the club and questioned the attitude of the dressing room. The final game of the campaign saw the Red Devils fall to a disappointing result against Palace at Selhurst Park, falling behind to a Wilfried Zaha goal. De Gea looked back at the season and said he wants to forget it, instead preferring to be positive. I just want to be positive, to forget about this season. The new manager was in the stands, so that's a good signal. I hope things will get better for next season. That's the past already. We all know it's been a bad season for everyone, David said. De Gea also lashed out at the dressing room after the game. The people who don't want to stay, just go. And the people who really want to stay at the club, who want to fight for the club, let's have a good rest in the summer. Prepare ourselves in the mind and in the body and be ready to fight again next season. The result saw the Red Devils finish the season in 6th place in the Premier League table, securing UEFA Europa League football for the upcoming season. They will join Arsenal in the continental competition next term as the Gunners finish at 5th. Harry Maguire says we are so hurt with Manchester United's terrible season. David de Gea said after the game he was glad the season was over, a sentiment shared by players and fans alike. Now club captain Harry Maguire has weighed in. He described the defeat as a disappointing way to end the season. He acknowledged the season has been a disaster and says the player have taken it hard too. Maguire says the player are hurt by the poor results and performances and take full responsibility for the results. Maguire message on Instagram read, "Disappointing end to a season full of lows. We are so hurt with how this season has gone. The squad take full responsibility and we know that what we have shown is nowhere near good enough for this club. Time to go away, reflect and make sure we come back next season ready for the challenge. A huge thanks to the fans for sticking with us throughout this tough period. Once again, you have shown there are no other fans like you." Not many Manchester United fans may want to hear from Maguire, but as a club captain, we do expect him to speak up. We are sure he genuinely does feel hurt by the disastrous way this season has gone, with United scrapping 6th place and finishing trophyless. Maguire's own form has not been good, with United conceding 58 league goals to end up with a goal difference of 0. New boss Eric Ten Hag was in attendance at Palace and he will hold his first Manchester United press conference and meet the media at 12 p.m. on Monday. So, while you are watching this video, the press conference may be out already. United set to release an interview with him at 10 a.m. It's quite possible he will be asked about Maguire and the captaincy for next season at the presser. Manchester United to unveil Eric Ten Hag as a new manager next week. According to the Mirror, incoming Manchester United will unveil new permanent manager Eric Ten Hag at Old Trafford in the coming days. After winning the league with Ajax Amsterdam, the Dutchman has taken over a new project for the next season at the Theatre of Dreams, ending his spell with the Amsterdam-based club. The new gaffer flew to London on Monday and has already begun editing for this summer. The clubs intend to unveil Ten Hag officially as the manager at Old Trafford sometime in the coming week. The Dutchman certainly faces a difficult task to make the Red Devils the imminent force in English football. Steve McLaren, the assistant during Sir Alex's 99 treble-winning year, will also be presented as Ten Hag's right hand. The duo has worked previously on many occasions and shares an understanding which can help the club in the long run. Ten Hag understands the budget he will be provided with this summer for the transfer and he intends to maintain the style of play he did with Ajax. An exodus of players is set to take place during the transfer window and we will have to see which players he will count on for the rebuild. Not to forget the academy players also could make more of their senior team appearances under Ten Hag. The Dutchman is known to have groomed youngsters and this could be a chance for some of the players like Alvaro Fernandez and Alejandro Garnacho to step up and fight for their spot. While Ten Hag is said to be presented to the Red Devils fans at the Old Trafford, we can only hope that he turns things around for good after having faced an underwhelming season. Real Madrid will challenge Manchester United to the signing of Aurelien Tchouameni. According to Marca, Real Madrid will face a number of clubs including Manchester United in the race to sign Aurelien Tchouameni in the upcoming summer transfer window. This comes after the Kylian Mbappé transfer saga came to an end. Los Blancos were forced to eat humble pie as the 23-year-old chose to extend his stay with Paris Saint-Germain until 2025. Following the snub, the Los Blancos have now turned their attention to Tchouameni. The Frenchman is amongst the best midfielders in Ligue 1 and appears to have a bright future ahead of him. The 22-year-old midfielder is wanted by a number of clubs across Europe, including the likes of Premier League giant Manchester United. Given our need for a midfielder, it makes all the more sense that we have been linked to a player of Tchouameni's abilities. The midfielder has performed exceedingly well of late and has been very instrumental for Monaco this season. The player usually prefers to play as a defensive midfielder, but can adapt to playing in the center. His versatility on the pitch has attracted many clubs. Manchester United too have shown interest in the player, and why not? The Red Devils will see a lot of players leaving this summer. With Eric Ten Hag set to take over, a revamp could be on the cards. The Red Devils are in desperate need of such players as compared with Real Madrid, who already have balance and squad depth. The Red Devils lack a midfield general, let alone squad depth, and bringing in Tchouameni as a key first team star is a good start. While this new transfer saga is still yet to go into full swing, it's yet to be seen if Man United will go all out to land the Frenchman or look elsewhere. Declan Rice looks set to make a wise decision on Manchester United transfer. West Ham United midfielder Declan Rice is reportedly ready to stay at the club for one more season despite transfer interest from Manchester United. Rice has been a world-class performer for the Hammers in recent times, leading to strong interest from Man United and other big clubs ahead of this summer. However, it seems the England international is ready to be patient and wait another year before looking to leave the London stadium, according to the Daily Mirror. Rice would be a perfect fit for Man United's needs right now, but the truth is that they are far from ideal for him in the current state they are in. It's been a miserable season at Old Trafford, and it's hard to predict how much new manager Eric Ten Hag will be able to change things. Rice seems to be keeping a cool head about things, and it might be clearer in a year's time if he should gamble on moving to United, or if there will be other options available to him. The 23-year-old may well have looked at the current situation at United and decided he'd be at risk of going backwards, just as other talents like Paul Pogba, Alexis Sanchez and Harry Maguire have done with moves to Manchester. Rice has a contract with West Ham until 2024, so he might be in a stronger position to get a move next summer anyway. I will be uploading daily Man United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.